President Biden now expressing regret for dropping out of the 2024 race. A new revealing report saying, quote, Biden and some of his aides still believe he should have stayed in the race despite the rocky debate performance and low poll numbers that prompted Democrats to pressure him to drop out. Biden and these aides have told people in recent days that he could have defeated Trump. Here to discuss is Democratic strategist and former press secretary to Jill Biden, Michael LaRosa, and Republican strategist Katie Frost. Welcome to both of you. Why don't we start with Michael, because you actually worked with Jill Biden. Tell us your side of this story. Do you think that Joe Biden could have been a better candidate at the end of the day than Kamala Harris?
Well, I think what he's looking at, Rachel, is sort of this undeniable fact that, look, he got the most votes of any president in history. He got 81 million votes. He won 4 years ago with over 51% of the vote. That's 7 million votes more than Donald Trump. And Donald Trump still wasn't able to really get over the hurdle of 50%. He still can't get half the country to support him. Now, the other side to this is that all the exit polls show that in all of the swing states, President Biden's approval rating was at or below 42% in those 7 swing states that really decided the election. So it was going to be a huge hurdle to overcome. That said, putting Harris on the ticket, Rachel, allowed us to flip 3 seats in California and 4 seats in New York that may have otherwise not have flipped and shrunk the House GOP majority.
Well, that's an interesting look. These are the Biden approval ratings: 34% approved, 66 disapproved. So I don't know, Katie. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's great to be with you, Rachel. And I'll say, if President Biden thought that he could have defeated President Trump after the worst debate performance in presidential history, I don't think we need to look any further for signs of cognitive decline. There is absolutely no way he was up to the task of defeating President Trump. And he also was not able to serve another 4 years as president. He's barely been able to serve these past 4 years. Why would anyone think he could have served another term? We now have confirmation from the reporting in the Wall Street Journal of what we all witnessed with our own eyes, is that he was struggling to do the very basic functions of the presidency. And the fact that we essentially had a shadow government of unelected staffers who were covering up his inability to govern while they were making decisions for our country is a serious scandal of unbelievable magnitude. There are a lot of questions that need to be asked about this. Hopefully those will be asked under oath, because this is a scandal that makes Watergate look like robbing a lemonade stand.
No question. I think it's one of the biggest political scandals in our lifetime. I mean, the amount of people that were implicated in this cover-up of his mental decline is remarkable. And top of the list, Michael, is Jill Biden, who you work for. In fact, she was campaigning so extensively on behalf of her husband in Iowa that Joe Biden's team said it's making Joe look bad because she's everywhere. We even saw that crazy photo of her sitting at in some cabinet meeting with her glasses. I mean, was she the president?
No, of course not. Look, she did. She was his most effective surrogate, his best campaigner. She traveled a ton, and she did it while she was teaching full time. There was no question that.
But she did it more than him. That's the problem, right?
Well, I think what they were trying to say to me at the time was, remember, I was new. I was working for the supporting actor, and here I am bragging about my boss, who I love and adore. And look, it was undeniable that she traveled to more counties, and, that was all of public record. So I couldn't lie to the reporter, right? I had to just say, yeah, of course that's true.
Sure.
And what their point was is that age was dogging the campaign from the very beginning. And that was their point to me, is that this is always going to be an issue. Let's just try to not make her look great at the expense of him.
Really quick, Katie, last question. I don't have a lot of time. Is it the case that as bad as Joe Biden was campaigning, his age, his mental decline, that he still could have been a better candidate than Kamala Harris?
Well, that's an excellent question. I think that's going to be a popular parlor game. Could he have been a better candidate than Kamala Harris? She, of course, struggled in so many ways that we all witnessed, but it really does not depend if it was Harris or was it Biden. The real problem here is they didn't have a primary where the candidates could be properly vetted, and that ended up being their own undoing.
Yeah, it was very undemocratic. That's for sure. Michael LaRosa, Katie, always great having you both on. Thanks for joining us. We'll have you back.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.